Okay, guys, this is it. I have to apologize. I was editing the video, so happy I was done, and I realized that I kept hearing like this funny bang, and I didn't know what it was. I just was kind of tuning it out, really. And it must have been my phone. My phone must have stopped recording because none of this is in the final version. I looked at as I got done editing it, and I realized, I'm looking at it, I'm going, wait a minute, where's the rest of it? And that's what I did. I want to tell you what I did with this, okay? Hold on one second. Okay, so what I did is I took that spatula and I dipped it in some just titanium white by itself on a plate. I just dipped it in there, healthy amounts, and I went along like right here, and I added a real healthy amount, and I kind of skimmed it along here where it looks foamy, and I just sort of went along here and just where the surf was coming in, and I added it where I thought it should be, That's all I did. It was really that simple. When I saw that it wasn't in the final copy, the end part, I was so disappointed. And but now I know when I hear that noise again what it is. Also up here, I know that I didn't record this because it was a last minute decision, is this line here, the Prussian blue, it was just too severe and it really wasn't matching the sky. So I changed it to ultramarine blue, and I brought it down a little bit with some turquoise and some teal and some of that ultramarine blend, and I just kind of brought it down a little bit. But if you see the sky, you'll see that, it matches, whereas the Prussian blue was just so severe. I wasn't happy with it, but now I really love this. So I just want to say thank you for joining me. I'm on to the next painting for my my friend Patty Pace, who got me on this journey. Thank you, Patty. And I'm just so thrilled. Patty's family actually grew up around the corner from me, and Patty was always so nice to me. Just so nice to me. And this is my way of thanking her. We're off to the next one, and yay. Thanks, guys. Hi everybody, welcome to part 2. Here's the canvas that we're working on. I want to show you what I did. I took some turquoise, I took some soft body paste, and I put some of this aqua green in there. And I put some high flow golden turquoise. And it turns out that the color matches perfectly to the reference photo. It just occurred to me that this would help with the, better matching the color. So, as I looked at it closely, and then so I did a darker, I put it in, I mixed it, and then I put it in little yogurt jars so that I was ready for today. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. Okay, let's go. So what I'm doing here is I'm applying the horizon line, and I end up changing this at the very end. As you can see, I'm showing you that I added Prussian blue to the mix, but as it turned out, when it dried the next day, I thought it looked too harsh. And so anyway, I ended up changing that, and as I explained. And so, but at the time, it felt right, and it seemed okay when it was wet. Anyway, so during this whole process of experience, journey, painting, all of the above, I made several changes, and I'll be doing something often, and I will look at it and I will decide that doesn't look right, the perspective is off, it's just not, it just doesn't feel right, and then I'll go over it. So I made several changes to this painting, different, more toward the shoreline than anything else. And of course, when I, eventually add in the clouds, the horizon line I changed, and bringing it down. And when I got down to the shore, it just looked like there was too much beach and the water wasn't, there wasn't enough water. So I brought it down. I ended up bringing the water down further. So anyway, to get to this part, the top is very texturized, as I said, with soft-bodied paste and paint. So I needed to make the water the same, but not with the same strokes with the palette knife. I end up using it and I make these long, I put a lot of paste on it, you know, very thick, and then I dig in with my palette knife to make these sort of long lines so it looks like water. And I do them smaller toward the horizon and then larger as you get closer to the shore. And it worked out really well. I changed my palette to the larger palette when I got to the shore. And that was the whole trick of making this water texturized and nice and thick in texture, and was using the palette knife, using a lot of the paste and the paint, and digging in with my palette knife with these long strokes horizontal. When I started this, I really didn't know which way I was going to do this, how I was going to make the lines. But I knew it would come to me, and sure enough, as I worked my way along, I said, of course, I said, well, yeah, horizontal, of course. I didn't want it to look choppy. I didn't want it to look like the sky. I wanted it to have its own unique characteristic of water. So anyway, as I'm going along here, you're going to notice the painting change a few times. And this was a painting that I did have a reference photo for, and the one that I'm working on simultaneously is going to, I'm using the same reference photo and the same colors for, but not the same technique. So, it will look a little different. But with that, I have a clearer vision in mind of, now that I've done this, of how I want it to look. And sometimes when I start out with a painting, I change it and I look at it and I'm saying to myself, no, I need to change this again. So bear with me with this process. And I learned a great deal doing this, because as I said in part one, I never really did a painting with this type of real texture, real impasto feel, and I really loved it. I really did. I love the soft body paste. I enjoyed doing an entire painting with it. It was just so much fun. If you haven't tried it, I urge you to try it. So now I'm getting my groove here, and now I see what I need to do. And I try different palette knives. I try different things, and the only time I really use a brush is when I want to blend in that horizon line, and when I do end up using a Filbert brush when I get toward the shoreline. But it's pretty self-explanatory. I do also use a fan brush to add in some of the water back in, and you'll see that if you stick it out and watch this from beginning to end, which I hope you do. I know that we don't always do that. I'm guilty of it myself, but try to hang in there. I'm going to play some music or download some music that's on this app. Hopefully I don't get any restrictions. And, they're in the app. I'm allowed to use them, but so many times I'll get these restrictions, and it's very frustrating to try to fight it. But I can't, there's no reason for me to talk through this whole thing other than to wish you well. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if I can think of anything else during this video, I will add it in. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.